Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about neurofibromatosis, or NF for short. Neuro meaning the nerves in your body, as I have one right there. I have a fibroma right there. Fibroma meaning what I just showed you is a little bump that you can visibly see, but it's not like on the outside of your skin, it's on the inside, attached to your nerves. And then so neurofibromatosis, it's a condition, it's genetic. Fewer than 200,000 people every year have it. NF type 1 is the one I have. Hey, I rhymed. NF type 1 is basically it develops in early childhood. I think I was like 3 or 4 when I first was diagnosed with it. And then NF type 2 and type 3, which I can't say the name because it's really hard to pronounce. Those two basically form in early adulthood. So I don't really know if I have a possibility of getting the other two, although I think I already have like type 3, because that can cause like chronic pain all over the body. And like 2 years ago, I was getting ready for school. It was really early. I was putting my shirt on, and all of a sudden I had a streak of pain basically where my spine is, my spinal cord, and I had to go back to bed. My mom had called my pediatrician and said, hey, Caitlin woke up this morning with back pain. We're thinking it's tumors. What should we do? He ordered an MRI, which is magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI for short. I've had these since I was diagnosed with NF. We were going for a regular MRI for the brain tumor on my optic nerve. That's why I have glasses, because type 1 can also make the vision go poof. I should have already been blind by now, like within a few years after my diagnosis, but I can see a little bit without my glasses. Like, I'm watching a show on my TV and I can kind of see it. I can see my balloon that I got for graduation, and I can visibly see stuff close to me, but not far away. I even have to have my glasses on to drive. And then, so we were going for a normal brain scan, the MRI for the brain tumor. And they wanted us to get that done and then come back the next day and get the scan done on my back. And we said, no, can we just do it on the same day? And they were like, yeah, whatever. And so it took about 3 hours, only because usually it takes a little bit longer because I'm kind of like wiggly and I'm really itchy sometimes from NF. NF can cause itchiness. So basically I had those 2 MRIs done in one chunk, and we got the results for the brain tumor. It didn't really change that much, figures. And we got the results for the scan on my spine. Lo and behold, I got tumors on both sides fused to my spinal cord. And yeah, that's the reason I have back pain. It's a good thing I said something, because if I had gone to school and my mom had to leave for work, I would have probably been like laying on the floor, not even able to move. A little bit more about NF. and that's basically what's happened in the last few years with my NF. NF is a genetic disorder that, which is where one or both parents can have the gene. In my case, and I think there's like a few other cases, neither of my parents had the gene. I had a random gene change when I was still, before I was born, like when I was developing and all that. And NF is usually identified in early childhood, so I was like 3 or 4, had 60 weeks of chemo at age 5, and they pretty much told my parents to do as much stuff as with me as possible, like taking me on a vacation, because they gave me a 50% chance to survive to age 4. Not only that wasn't really because of the NF, it's because of the heart condition that I was born with. So basically, I was born with 3 holes in my heart and a missing valve, and they gave me a 50% chance of survival to the age of 4. And then they said 10, and I'm 19, so yeah, it can cause chronic pain, learning disabilities, it can also cause, I'm trying to pull up my notes right here, hold on a second. Okay, sorry, had to pull up my my Google Slides things that I'm going to be doing for another video, basically explaining a little bit more. So it can cause vascular complications, neurofibromas, which is what I showed you at the beginning on my arm, learning disabilities, ADHD, autism, cardiac complications, ocular risks, orthopedic abnormalities, and tumors. I don't know if I already said that. Type 1 can cause bone deformities, learning disabilities, high blood pressure, as where type 2 can cause hearing loss, vision loss, difficulty with balance, meaning I can't ride a bike, but they said I have type 1. Chronic pain throughout the body is for type 3. Some cases may not require treatment other than like careful observation, which is like the MRIs that I have. I already had 60 weeks of chemo to kind of like shrink that brain tumor just a little bit. Other cases may require chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. One thing to notice, like, if, like, for diagnosis, a doctor will look for, let's see if I can find one that you guys can see clearly. These big brown blotchy spots, they almost look like coffee stains. I have them all over my body. They can be, misrecognized for birthmarks. So if you notice 1 or 2 of these, like 6 or more of these spots, your child may have NF. That's one thing to look for. Learning disability and short stature. Ringing in the ears, scoliosis, seizures, sensations of pins and needles, like literally pins and needles, like you're being, like you feel like you're being poked 1,000 times, and vision disorder. So basically, this review of my other video that I'm going to be making, basically on this set of slides, this Google Slides thing. Affected parent with NF and affected child, affected child. So I kind of made a mistake on this part. Basically, if a parent has the gene, it means they have NF. So if one parent has the gene, you have a 50-50 chance of your child having that gene. But if both parents obviously have the gene, yeah, all your kids will have NF. So, two types of NF. Type 1 and type 2. NF is where the gene is changed on chromosome 17. And NF2 is where the chromosome 22 changes. Tumor suppressor genes mutation causes uncontrolled fibromas. So here's another peek of my next video. This is a fibroma. This little, here's like bone, and then there's a little like rock-shaped tumor. And NF is mostly non-cancerous, but it can turn into cancer. So this is an image of the tumor on the right side, so you can see right here is a tumor, that little blotchy spot, and you can tell a big difference. Here's like the cord from the eye that kind of like connects to the brain, and then there's literally no cord right there. Since your eyes connect at a point like right about there to connect to your brain, I'm basically my vision in both my eyes rather than in just one of my eyes, because your brain kind of like both your eyes would look that way. Most people can look in different directions, but I can't. So let's see. Okay, so for the MRI scanner, magnetic resonance imaging, it's almost like a spaceship. So like you're going into like a little capsule, and it's gonna do some weird stuff. It doesn't really do weird stuff. It basically just makes a bunch of noise, like beep, 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 and it's really annoying. And they provide earplugs, I'm sure. The big magnet that's in the machine works together with the scanner that takes pictures of the certain parts of your body. They may put some medicine in an IV that'll like brighten up the area. So contrast is basically what it is. a locker may be provided, but you may have to leave it in your car. Your car keys, of course, if you're not being given the sleeping medicine. You must leave your phone, watch, and anything else. A locker may be provided for your personal items, including keys, phone, jewelry, clothes if you're asked to change. Most of the time you don't really have to change, but sometimes they'll have you change. Sleeping medicine may be provided for those who are like claustrophobic or have a hard time sitting still, like such as children. In my case, I don't really have to have it anymore. I'm completely fine as long as my mom is rubbing my feet, which are sometimes stinky. Let's see. What else? There is not a cure, unfortunately. It can be treated to reduce the size of the tumor, to reduce the risks of more complications. It does require a medical diagnosis, meaning doctors would look for the capillary spots that I showed you before. This little blotchy spot there's another one. I have them randomly. Like, I even have one right there, I think. I have a bunch on my back. Tests such as lab work and imaging, which is the MRI, may often be required to diagnose NF. Basically, the first thing that they'll look for is tumors that like pop up where you can like, so like this little blotch, that's a fibroma, and it hurts really bad. It doesn't really bother me that much, but sometimes if I like bump it by accident, it'll just, the chronic pain can last for years or even be lifelong. So, in my next video, I will be doing like a bunch of other stuff, basically what doctors will look for, such as pediatricians for children. As I said, if you notice one or two, like 6 or more of these blotches, right, of these big blotches, go to your doctor or take your child to the doctor, because you may not be able to catch it. Like, if you think that they just have random marks or like bug bites, double check with your doctor, because they may be serious and they may be like risky. See, right now my back is like killing me because I'm like sitting straight. I have them all over my body. I think I have a few on my neck, like one on my face somewhere. I think I even have some on my skull or my roots. And my lipstick looks really, really red. So basically, I'm going to start a series. This is basically my journey as an adult with NF, and it's basically partially I do cat updates with my outdoor cat. I do makeup tutorials. I'm doing a few other things. If you like my outfit, I got it from Shein or Shine or whatever it is. I think this was like between like $5 and $10. Not even. They have cheap clothes. Like, you could probably find this at like Sephora, or not Sephora. That's a makeup store. You could probably find this at like JCPenney's or those really expensive stores that are like $100 per clothing item. So yeah, basically, Shine is a really good store to go to. Not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored. So yeah, I've basically been chilling. If you're wondering what I use to record my videos at the moment, it's this tripod. It comes with this little shutter thing that's basically the best, and I just found out that it extended, literally. I have to be smarter than the thing, by the way. So basically my YouTube channel is gonna help parents that may have NF or their kids may have NF and they need to know a little bit more about it, because I got called a liar at one of my doctor's appointments. I had just, as soon as I turned like, what was it, like 17, I had to switch doctors but still go to the same place. My child doctor only sees kids to 17 or 18. And basically, I went to my new doctor and had a chat with like a social worker or child life specialist, whatever you want to call it. And she did the doctor did the examination with the back tumor, the tumors that from my tailbone to my spine, like up my spine pretty much to the brainstem. And she pretty much said, you don't have NF, you need to stop complaining of pain and quit wanting attention. I'm like, excuse me? I didn't really say that. I'm like, we talked to one of the people that work there, and we're like, we're not coming to see her anymore. I was freaking out. I'm like, I just got called a liar by an adult. I'm not lying. Everyone knows that I have NF. Apparently she didn't go to school and learn about NF because I wanted to smack her so freaking badly because, it hurt me. My entire family knows that I have NF. So basically, I'm seeing a male doctor now, and he is nice as can be. He understands NF. He hasn't called me a liar yet. It's not hope that he actually does call me a liar. He knows more about NF than my second doctor. My child doctor understood everything. Like, she pretty much was like the NF wizard or the NF fairy, because she pretty much knew about everything. So when I had to go to my new doctor, my new female doctor, yeah, that didn't happen. My mom told the girl that we always talk to, that always basically talks with us for a few things about like appointments and all that, and we straight up told her like, we're not coming to see her anymore. And she's like, why? I'm like, my mom was like, well, she just called Caitlin a liar. And I was kind of like, why would I lie about something that I know I have? I mean, of course I don't look sick. I don't look like there's anything wrong with me. But you have to physically feel this, like, on where my spine's at, on the outside of my skin, to be able to tell, oh, she has NF. She's not lying. They have to, like, physically feel around my tailbone where that tumor is to basically know that, yes, of course she has NF. They have to, like, there's a good spot. There's a good cafe spot. A bunch on my arm. There's little ones. There's big ones. I got 2 huge ones on my stomach. I got a bunch on my leg. I hated it. So, yeah. That's my journey with NF so far. If anyone has any questions about NF and what it is, comment down below and I will be able to answer all your questions. This is going to probably be a series if I can make more videos like this. And basically, this video was basically for, like, about me with NF and, like, how I've been dealing with it since 4. So yeah, if you have any questions about NF, feel free to ask me down in the comments. And yeah, I will see you next time. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe down below. Yeah. Bye, guys.